Digi.
Hey, this is the Essential Show with Sammy and
Morgan.
aka DJ. But today I found out a few days ago that DJ was such a massive Batman fan, as am I, and as Morgan is. I'm going to talk about every single Batman film. I'm not going to go from the 1940s short films because I just don't want to. I'm going to go from 1966 to the Dark Knight Rises.
Does this include animated movies?
No, it does not. It it includes live action movies.
Are we going to be saying our opinions on all of them in order?
Yes, but just general impressions. I'm going to start as I'm the host. 1966 Batman movie. Here's the thing: as much as it's stupid and so silly, I still have a soft spot for it because is this going to sound? I still think it's really, really cool. Like you have Batman with the shark, and it's just
And the shark repellent spray.
in the shark repellent spray. It's just so it's so bad that it's good.
Am I allowed to say my opinion?
When I'm done.
Oh, okay.
It's so bad that it's good. And you got Adam West as Batman running around in these Batman tights, and Catwoman and Joker and on the boat. I don't even know why there was a boat. I mean, it was they hardly explained anything. It was just a bunch of
Randomness.
randomness, and obviously it's not that amazing. It's still like
The weirdest thing is, though, is that it wouldn't have been amazing for the time.
no, but it would have been.
I don't think it would have.
It would have because still anyway. I think it's a great. It's not great, obviously. It's so bad. It's good. It's silly. It's fun. And Cesar Romero as the Joker is amazing. And for any of you who've seen what was it Return to the Batcave? Seen a Return to the Batcave? DJ? It's basically like the behind the scenes Batman. It's a fictional kind of behind the scenes. You got Cesar Romero spinning around in the chair turning into Joker. You should really check that out. It's really cool. Morgan, general impressions on Batman 1966.
I don't have an opinion on it. I just, when you're a kid, you kind of just watch. And looking back, I'm still a kid. I'm still young, but looking back, it's like, what was I watching, and why did my parents make me watch it? Because
It's so evil.
no, not just that. It's just like, what really was going on? And don't say it would have been amazing for the time, because there wasn't like loads of special effects to make people in 1966.
When you just said, what is this and what is my parents making me watching, that's how I felt with Batman and Robin. But we'll
You
get
can
to
talk
that.
about that, yeah. But there wasn't really that many special effects to make it seem that amazing. It was just kind of there. And in a time, let me like explain it like this. The early 50s to the early 60s was like the golden age of like cinema really coming to life, and kind of, because even though there was films like Wizard of Oz and Snow White beforehand in the 30s, they weren't shown on like TV screens until the 50s. So I guess it was kind of molded into that kind of time zone of. No, it was, but that, and I think, what was it called again? Batman.
Just Batman.
What? Really? Like, the Catwoman was in her early 40s. Was she played by Eartha Kitt?
Not in that movie.
Oops.
Judy
Well,
Newmar.
still, it was just, and there was like 4 villains, and
Penguin, Riddler, Catwoman, Joker.
they weren't even
and,
villains.
And Penguin's henchman.
They weren't even
He's
villains.
played by a guy called Morgan.
I know, but I know,
you
but
like it.
that's the one thing I remember seeing the credits. I was like, Daddy, my name. But
You were in it?
yeah, like
Yeah.
totally. But the villains weren't
Lee
villains.
Merriweather was Catwoman.
The villains weren't villains. They were just kind of there. They'd maybe plotted something, and Batman might have heard of it, and that was basically the plot of the
He
movie.
was 31.
They weren't doing anything that bad. it was just kind of, why are they on a boat? Why is he underneath the water trying to find the boat?
Do you realize that that entire show, that whole concept was a parody?
No, I didn't know.
It was made as a parody of Batman.
No, I just really didn't know. I thought it was like meant to be like serious.
No. How is that meant to be?
Because the 1960s were kind of like over the top, colourful, and if you look at all the outfits people wore then, I just
Anyway,
don't get it.
DJ.
Well, it was a very, very long time ago. Last time I saw that movie.
I watched it almost every year.
I actually watched that movie on TV, not knowing that it was a movie. Like, because I've been watching the TV show.
Did you think it was a commercial?
No, I mean, at some point I realized that, wow, this is a movie, but I didn't know there was a movie of it. So I've been watching the show, and this was just like this episode was just not ending. That's how I felt. It was like this epic.
Could you imagine if it never ended?
It was an epic. It was an epic episode, and I figured that's when I figured, oh, this is a movie. This is a movie. Yeah, it was. I think that had an impact on me too, because at some points it felt a bit long. I was used to the TV show format. I wasn't really thinking that I was watching a movie, so it felt a bit off at times. And then when I figured out it was a movie, I thought that was really cool that it was a movie. But I had already seen the Tim Burton movie at that point, so it was a bit weird for me, because I was around that age. I'd just seen the Tim Burton movie, but I liked it. I mean, I thought it was funny. I didn't know at the time that the show was designed as a parody, but I still found it funny, and I really thought that whole final scene was just funny with the shark and the spray.
And the whole Holy Robin, Holy Batman.
Yeah, that whole thing. No, so I mean, it doesn't really.
You can say anything with Holy.
It doesn't really hold up that well as a movie, but it's I appreciated it. I still think the TV show is better than the movie.
I can imagine Robin saying Holy Digi Batman. Just he might have said in the movie, just it wouldn't make sense.
What are we talking about next?
As much as they tried to do another movie in that time, we had to jump 23 years later to Tim Burton's Batman, titled Batman, in 1989. My general impressions on it is it's really cool. And I when I first watched it when I was 4, and I loved it, and I've seen it so many times since. I watch it almost every year. Well, actually, I probably watch it about twice a year. But I think it's just. I don't think it's not Batman's movie. I don't think you can call it. Yeah, no, it's a Batman movie, but I don't think you call it Batman's movie. It's Joker's movie. Like Joker has more scenes in it than Batman does. So it's Joker's movie. So they might as well just call it Joker. But Jack Nicholson's performance is just so. Look, Jack Nicholson playing Jack Nicholson, but it's still so mind-blowingly cool. That I loved it when he killed. Spoilers if you haven't seen the movie. I loved it when he killed.
I think 1989. I think it's safe at this point.
I loved it when he killed Carl Grissom, and then he started dancing around. I actually watched it once when I was about 6, and I started dancing around just like Joker did, and I pretended to kill someone.
I couldn't imagine watching that movie at 4.
I did, and I loved it.
But I think
I was brought up on the first 2 Tim Burton movies.
I think
my older brother.
it makes me wonder though if being a 4-year-old in the present is different than being a 4-year-old in 1989.
Yeah. Obviously, there was a lot of backlash with it. Like in then, it was PG-13 when it came out. It was and now as a DVD, it's now 15.
No.
It's but it's really cool. Michael Keaton was an amazing Batman. Kim Basinger just was there. It was fine. Robert as Alexander Knox was cool. Alfred was Michael
Go or whatever.
Goff.
Whatever. Yeah.
Michael Goff. He's dead now, you know that.
Yeah.
Dead a few years ago. Died a few years ago. Alfred, Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon, who's also sadly dead now. Yeah, what? Anyway, no, it's just a really, really cool movie, but it's a pantomime. It's cool, but it's just blah. That's what it is. It's like It's
the
like,
genre movie. Blah.
It's like
There you
Batman.
have it. In a nutshell,
It's
Batman is blah.
It's like Batman on Broadway. It's just without the music. It's just Prince music,
Oh god.
but it's just when Joker's in the gallery. As much as I like it and it's all cute and all that, and then he comes in with the Prince music, and
I think we get your point.
but I like it.
Yeah, I think we all liked it. It
By
was
the
a big
way,
hit.
3 out of 5. I gave it. We're gonna do that now. At the end of that, we're gonna give it. I gave it 3. Now, I think 3.5. It's entertaining. 3.5 out of 5.
I like it.
No, when you love it.
No, I like it.
No, you love it.
No, no. I like it. I think it's really cool. Obviously, I think Tim Burton's movies are the best. It's not the best Tim Burton Batman movie. But, I like the fact that it was Prince's side project while he was, getting together with one of his bands. But, I think the movie obviously did what it had to do.
I don't even Prince just went into a recording studio and just said a few words.
He did like 18 songs for it. But,
I love the songs. They're really cool.
the thing is that I like it, and I think it obviously did what it had to do to, be in the top 10 highest grossing films of 1980s in the last year of the 80s.
Still only in 9th.
But that's impressive. 12 months or something, and then that's impressive. It is what
Huge. It was the biggest movie for a long time. And anyway, sorry, were you done?
Yeah, pretty much.
The car, the suit, the darkness. I was 12 when I watched that movie.
I was too.
The only thing, the
I watched it when I
only
was 2.
Batman that existed before that was Adam West Batman. I went from watching Bam, Pam, Bow, whatever, to seeing that car come out of the Batcave.
To kicking someone down a ledge. Onto
Yeah,
To a woman who's wearing a mask going, hey.
I'll never forget. Let me actually. To me, it was such a life-changing moment, life-changing memory. First time we went to watch it, my dad took us to the wrong movie. And that's when we still had drive-through theaters. And we went to rewatch the wrong movie. It was some movie about, like, I don't even remember what it was about. Like, those monkeys and stuff. That's all I remember. I was just obviously so disappointed. This wasn't Batman.
Batman with monkey.
And then I eventually watched it, and it just changed everything for me. Like, it was the most amazing thing I felt I'd ever seen up until that point. It was my favorite thing. So.
Morgan, what did you give it out of 5?
A good 3 out of 5.
I gave it 3.5, DJ.
Well, for its time, when I saw it, in the context of when I saw it, it was a 5 out of 5.
But now?
Now I would give it a 3 out of 5, 3.5 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this movie is a big...
Probably gonna have to go faster because.
Okay, this movie is a big improvement on the first. It's a massive improvement on the first. And it's called Batman Returns. Now, it's just... First of all, the opening scene. I want to talk about that for a minute. The opening scene of it is obviously Penguin as a child with the guy who played Pee Wee Herman. Did you know that the guy who played Pee Wee Herman was Penguin's dad? Yeah.
Yeah. Paul Rubens.
Yeah, that's the name. And they don't like him because he's weird looking, so they put him in the buggy and throw him in the river, and it's just going underneath the river, and all the music. First of all, the music is just fantastic.
Yeah.
And
Might actually be the best part of the whole thing, actually.
the music.
Yeah. It was so iconic.
Yeah, it's just so cool, and obviously you got Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, which is awesome. Mike Keaton's better in it too. It's just such an improvement on first, and for me it's a 4.
Yes, it's so good. It's so good. It's really good. It's just like everything about it is just very me. It's so
It
great.
hits all the boxes.
No,
all
but
the
it's so good. It's like so gritty and it's so dark, and then it's just kind of it like all the characters have like kind of an attitude about them. Like weirdly enough, Batman's become kind of sassy, and then they're all just kind of either like they're arguing, trying to kill each other, or then they're kind of making out. It's just like really kind of strange, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And the Catwoman's weirdly enough doing more destruction than all of them.
Christopher Walken.
Oh man.
And then that scene when she's just like, she has like 2 more lives, so she's gonna risk one of them. She just kind of bakes out Christopher, kills him.
Yeah.
It's just like kind of, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's just like really good.
I agree.
5.
Okay.
At this point, you know, like I now knew more about Batman and all of that, but I would give that movie a 4 out of 5. It was so, it was a good movie. It was really
Best
good.
one.
Yeah, to me it's still my favorite Tim Burton movie, Batman
Nice.
Returns.
Oh.
I don't think he's made.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like, as far as, you know, technical achievement and all that stuff, Edward Scissorhands is a flawless movie. Batman Returns has some flaws, but only because of Batman and, you know, my comparison to the character and stuff like that. But as a movie, if it wasn't, you know, if Tim Burton had created Batman, and that was his movie, then it would be perfect.
Okay. Now we've gone into the dark times.
Batman Forever.
2. And I'm done.
I like it.
I liked it too.
I think that even though Joel Schumacher did terrible versions of it, it's just kind of, it's better than what he did after.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
maybe
a
like a
circus.
2.5.
I'd give it a solid 3 out of 5.
It's a circus.
I'll give it a solid 3 out of 5. The only reason I don't give it a 3.5 out of 5 is because I read the screenplay for it, the original screenplay for it. Yeah, and years ago, and there was actually a really good story in there. That was taken out, and it was, if they had actually just followed that, it would have been an amazing movie. It would have been really good, because basically Batman gets amnesia, and he forgets everything, and it's just kind of like, well, he starts learning, he discovers he's Batman, he finds the Batcave, and then he's just like, why would I want to be Batman? Why would I want to be Batman? I'm Bruce Wayne, I'm rich, I've got all of this stuff. What would make me do this? And just imagine how complex that would have been.
That would have been really cool. And,
so knowing that just kills it for me.
And I don't hate on Val Kilmer as Batman, because I like it.
I thought he was a good Batman. I didn't really like him so much as Bruce Wayne.
I think he's better Bruce Wayne than Batman. And here's what I liked about his Batman too. He put on a different voice.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton didn't really.
Michael Keaton did too.
This one a little bit deeper.
No, Michael Keaton did the Clint Eastwood voice.
Yeah.
This is part about that. The only person who didn't change his voice was George Clooney and Adam West.
We're getting to this now.
Yeah. Anyway, so you give it a 3. You give it a
2.5.
I give it a 2. I don't like Tommy Lee Jones's Two Faces. It's like
Terrible.
it's the joke.
Can I just make a point about that movie? Why was Drew Barrymore in it for like 5 minutes?
Because,
I don't know, maybe she just needed some work.
It's a circus movie. Why are monkeys in circus? Drew Barrymore is a monkey in the movie.
Oh no.
Joel Schumacher was clearly somebody who didn't know anything about Batman, and he said he was trying to. But he was a fan of the TV show, and he doesn't seem to have realized the TV show was a parody. So he was trying to recreate the TV show.
I like to think of his movies as a parody anyway.
Okay,
Yeah.
now on to Batman.
All right, moving on.
Batman, it's the worst film ever made. It's a 0.
What's your 0?
Batman and Robin is a 0.
When I was little, I really liked it. Now I'm looking back and I don't really get why I'm going to
weird,
turn
though.
you into compost.
It's weird.
It's a line of like a threat, but it's nothing. It's 0 out of. It's very weird.
I would give it.
I like Poison Ivy's character though. I think she has like a good. The one good thing about it is that she kind of kept the attitude of Poison Ivy. Everything else is just no.
Yeah.
Have you heard some of her one-liners?
You can't blame the character for the script. She kept to the character's attitude.
Read.
I've watched the movie like 4
No,
times.
Read some Poison Ivy comics. She did not.
I've seen the cartoon. She has an attitude.
No. She turned into a sassy model.
All right.
That's it.
Well, I don't hate Batman and Robin as much as you guys. I would give it a 2.
You have
I'd
to
give
hate
it
it.
a- Well, I don't hate it because to me it's. I get what it was. It wasn't a good movie, but it was so far removed from Batman that it was just like I don't even really consider it a Batman movie.
They just
put
like
it-
kind of
they
hired
put it
George
in the
Clooney because at
same
the time.
universe.
Well,
They put it in the same universe.
well, it was I mean, it was it's just.
This is the same universe as Batman Returns. They reference.
Yeah, they did. That's the thing that annoyed me.
Yeah, well,
in Batman
well,
Forever, they reference Catwoman.
well, yeah, it
In
was
Batman
a.
Robin, they reference Joker.
With Batman Forever, there's a point.
I don't
Tim
remember
Burton
any
was the
references.
producer for it, so I guess that's a point.
He was the producer for Batman Forever. But anyway, yeah, it was a complete parody. I think Joel Schumacher at that point had gone. He decided to go full into
But I don't
1966
think
Did you know
Batman.
it was only
Uh,
made to market toys? That's the funny
Well,
thing.
yeah, I know. I'm aware of that. So was Transformers was made by a toy company. All right, like it's just it's these things happen.
Okay, we're gonna get into the good territories now.
Really
This
quickly.
is gonna get pretty controversial. That's why I wanted to say this about Batman and Robin because you see a bit later.
Don't, okay, don't, okay. We're gonna get into the good territory now.
All right.
We're not.
Yes, we are.
No.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Okay. Batman Begins. This is the best Batman film ever made because the origin is so. We hadn't seen an origin of Batman before this, and it's such a good origin. You've got.
We kind of did.
Yeah.
No,
With
He turns
89.
the shot. You know,
Yeah.
what do
yeah,
you
but
need?
we didn't see him becoming Batman.
No, but it's kind of.
We didn't
Yeah,
see
okay.
him training.
Okay.
I don't buy it. Okay. Basically, then we see Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne / Batman, who's the best Batman other than Kevin Conroy, but we're not talking about that. He's the best film Batman. He's got Liam Neeson in there. I think he's one of the best actors of all time. Michael Caine, who's the best Alfred. We got Killian or Cillian. How do you pronounce that?
Cillian Murphy.
Okay, a Scarecrow, which is amazing. Katie Holmes. Just saying.
Before she got imprisoned.
No, I think she was in prison.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Anyway,
Yeah,
just
there's
Kate
people in it.
Watanabe.
Yes.
It's
This is
just-
the cast.
Sammy, please, just hurry up.
That's the best part. The cast is the best
Am
part.
I allowed to say my opinion?
No, yeah, because I'm done. The story is just so complete. It's just so amazing. Best Batman film ever. 5 out of 5.
I really hate this movie.
I want to kill you.
I really, 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 really hate this movie. I remember being 8 years old, watching this movie and being scared because it was just like I was brought up on the Tim Burton
I was
ones.
scared. That doesn't make it a bad
Let me get to my
movie.
point. I was brought up on the Tim Burton's one, so it's not like, oh my god, Batman is like so gritty and dark. I was brought up on the more grittier versions. I was more scared about the fact of what's really going on. I'm gonna fall asleep.
I'm sorry, but spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Henry Deckard Ra's al Ghul.
Hi, I'm saying my
Let him-
opinion.
Let him finish.
I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't feel like we need to. How long is the movie? Like, it's like nearly 3 hours, and like,
Isn't?
it's like it feels like that when you're watching it. I can't watch it with you. When you put it on, it's like I have to put on headphones and just zone out.
I'm gonna put it down
Alright.
for you have no taste. Okay, now you.
Oh, I give it a 1.
Give it a 1 out of 5. I thought it was all right. You know, it was a big improvement from Batman and Robin, but I thought there was some areas where it still needed some work. The most disappointing thing for me was not being able to see anything as far as combat, like the fighting, because I thought the ninjas were wasted. I was expecting to see some awesome Batman versus ninja action. Yeah, but you don't see anything. It's just quick cuts. It's like ha ha ha, it's done. I'm like, what happened? You know, what happened? So not being able to see that, I
Good
give
point.
Batman Begins.
That's a really good
I
point. 'Cause
give-
if he's in training, he should be learning how to do it more
Oh
slower.
yeah, I was really looking forward to the fighting in the old Batman movies were better than Batman
But the
Begins.
thing is, though,
It was
Batman
Nolan's
Begins-
first action film. I was already a Nolan fan before that. I felt he didn't do that great a job in Batman Begins. I would give that movie a 3.5 out of 5.
Oh, still good score. Okay. The Dark Knight. I'm gonna start. This is a masterpiece. It's just no question. It's a masterpiece.
Do you disagree, Morgan?
It's my turn. It's my turn.
Do you disagree?
It's my turn to talk.
No.
It's my turn.
Well, okay, we all think it's a masterpiece.
Okay, it's a masterpiece. You've got, which I think, of the best performance of the decade is Heath Ledger's Joker. this decade, like not like 2010s, but I'm talking about like the past 10 years. Then we have like Christy Bell's up the ante. The action is more. You got there's more fighting.
It's improved fighting. Yeah.
Maggie Gyllenhaal's better.
But no ninjas.
Maggie Gyllenhaal's better than Kate Holmes. Aaron Eckhart is really underappreciated as Two-Face. I think he's really great. Gary Oldman's better. I forgot Gary Oldman's great in Batman Begins too. Gary Oldman's great in this too. It's just an amazing film, and there's no flaws. 5 out of 5.
I don't know how to feel about this movie. I do not know how to feel about this movie. Because in some parts, it's incredibly good. In other parts, I'm like, this wasn't needed. This was put in because Nolan wanted to make it longer.
No! Everything is complete.
I don't know. I feel like I'd give it a 3, and it's such an
Elaborate.
unpopular opinion.
Elaborate.
No, it's fair.
I just wanted to elaborate more.
Sammy, the amount of times that he was like, okay, when he gets into the police car and there's like no audio, and he's just like,
I thought that was amazing. That was amazing.
It wasn't needed.
That was very clever.
It was needed because it shows you the anarchy.
That was a triumph of the Joker. That was a big moment in the film.
they could have done it a bit quicker because it was like 2 minutes of him going,
Oh,
It's amazing.
that was great. That was one of my favorite parts.
You can't.
That was actually one of my favorite parts. That was one of the parts I thought showed the brilliance.
I'm still going to give it a 3 because some parts were needed and
This
some
comes
parts were
from the
not.
person who thinks Batman Returns is the greatest film of all time.
Give it a-
Batman Returns is not bad.
Anyway, it's not bad still.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Well, there's not much for me to say that hasn't been said. I will say that the reason I give it a 4.5 out of 5 is because it doesn't hold up as well over time. And some of the technical mistakes it's a bit almost nitpicky, but those mistakes didn't need to happen. There's
What?
stuff like, okay, the number one most annoying thing for me in the movie is the scene, the party scene where Joker comes in and then throws the girl out the window and all that part. It's the cheese of Joker saying, "Oh, feisty one. Oh, I like that." And then Batman's like, "Yeah, then you're gonna love me, right?" And turns him around.
Oh, I know.
No, but that makes no sense to us because they're in a room surrounded by people, including his henchmen, with the lights on. It's literally impossible. Batman literally teleported
And another thing,
and appeared behind him. So
2 minutes before he just ran outside.
well, that's what I'm saying. There's quite a few of those moments where
I've got something
even when I was
else to
watching it, I was like, that makes no sense
I have
in
something
such a
else
great
to
movie.
done that. I have
It's
something.
impossible.
The costume could have been outside.
No.
No.
What?
Underneath.
What? Done what? What are you explaining?
Underneath that floor.
Yeah.
There's probably another floor. So then he could have say in the games he has the blow up thing.
You're gonna tell me,
Dude, no, come on.
You put it on the ceiling.
but you're gonna tell me that Joker didn't have the whole building surrounded.
It doesn't matter. That's not possible anyway because we're talking about a bright lit
It's
room
artistic
full of
license.
call it whatever you want. The only point I'm making is that was an impossible thing that didn't need to happen. It was only done to manipulate the audience, and I didn't buy it.
The scene after she
there was
died
stuff.
was incredibly unneeded as well.
There was no, I mean plot-wise, as far as the story goes and all of that, I thought it was a masterpiece. But those technical issues, like the car chase, there's just so
They
many
stole
things.
something from '89.
I don't want to go into. You asked me for a few examples. Those are some of the examples, like the angle switched. Like that was just bad editing. It didn't need to happen. Somebody just needed to pay attention
I don't
to what
think
was being done.
If you look at the.
But 4.5 out of 5 is still
Okay, can I just say something?
pretty good.
Morgan, you said the bit after Rachel died wasn't needed. What do you mean?
The scene when he's kind of just in his like a building and he's just kind of sitting there and he gets passed a letter.
He's upset.
Like
I know.
that was such an important scene. How could you not think that was important?
Because it's supposed to be Batman.
That is one of the most emotional, necessary moments.
I didn't
That's-
feel that
it's one of
emotional
the
with
things.
it.
It's one of the things that we don't get enough of in this kind of movies. Is how
They're coping with it.
Exactly.
But they did it for like 6 minutes.
Was
I'd be
it 6
fine.
minutes?
I'd be fine if it was like 2 minutes.
I don't care.
So, well, no. So if you wanted to make it short, that's fine. That's just,
And the next
that's up to
movie is again another flawless masterpiece for me. The Dark Knight Rises. I saw this on opening day in the Science Museum in IMAX, and with him and my dad and my
With
uncle.
Morgan.
Yeah, and With Morgan, yeah, and the one of the people on the film, Paul Franklin, was there to introduce the film, which is really cool. Which is really cool. But when the film actually, here's how much of an impact that I've been waiting for since the credits rolled on The Dark Knight. I was waiting for The Dark Knight Rises. When it actually impacted, even when the production titles come up, I actually started shaking because I was so excited for this movie, and
it lived up to your expectations.
it did. Yes. Only a few little nitpicks, but that's about it. Okay, first of all, the opening scene for me is the best opening scene in the film ever. With Bane on a plane, and it's just so
Bane on a
cool.
plane
It rhymes,
in Spain.
So. No, he wasn't in Spain.
Oh, it's a joke. It rhymed.
It was in Uzbekistan. But anyway, it was so awesome. Some people don't like the opening scene, but I don't know how they couldn't. Even though I prefer the opening scene in Dark Knight, I still love this too. It's just, and Catwoman is the better Catwoman than Michelle Pfeiffer, Morgan, Gary Oldman's better than in this. Christian Bale gives his best Batman performance in all of the trilogies. I think that's just objective. It's not subjective. It's just definite. And it's got a great plot. It's got a great. We kind of all expected the twist, but it's still got a great twist. If you didn't know anything about the movie, it's a great twist. It's a great movie. Bane is awesome. You see everyone's not gonna like it. I love it. It's 5 out of 5.
This movie sucked.
I completely agree. I enjoyed Batman and Robin more than I enjoyed The Dark Knight Rises.
Can I say my opinion on that? Really,
Go for it.
Sammy, this movie, I was watching it as it happened, and I was like, this is more of a train wreck than like some of the movies that have been voted the worst movies of all time. Catwoman, 2004 movie, was better than this, in my opinion.
I enjoyed that movie more.
Because, yes, some of the scenes really needed like the basketball scene, but it's not a plot. The Dark Knight Rises was such a mess. Oh, so what? Catwoman just happens to be working at Wayne Manor.
Well, no, I think she probably infiltrated that.
Yeah, but still.
But anyway, look, we're really low on time, so
It angered me. It shouldn't have been needed. Some of the things. Why can't they just let him die? You know, kill him off. Not all superheroes have to live forever. Kill him. Michelle Pfeiffer was a much better Catwoman, Sammy. Even Halle Berry was a much better Catwoman. It's sweet Anne Hathaway as the Catwoman.
I thought she was a good Catwoman. I thought the performances were good. What's your scoring, by the way?
1, because I still don't understand what Bane was saying.
I thought all the performances were fine. But yeah, I didn't enjoy that movie because it was too. I can't even get into the whys because there's so much. There was just so much like
wrong.
Yeah, it was one of the biggest, most disappointing experiences I've had in a movie.
Oh, I knew it was gonna be terrible when I heard that Anne Hathaway was playing Catwoman.
I thought she was. Again, the performances fine, the cinematography, all of that stuff was fine, but it wasn't a movie as far as I'm concerned.
You said you enjoyed it more than Batman and Robin.
I enjoyed Batman and Robin more than
You said you enjoyed Batman. Okay,
yeah.
but did you not like the performances in Batman and Robin?
I didn't like the performances in
Okay,
Batman
did you
and
like
Robin.
the cinematography in Batman and Robin?
I didn't really.
Okay.
I don't care.
Then you prefer The Dark Knight Rises.
Well, no. I would. If I had to watch one of those movies again, I'd rather watch Batman and Robin.
That's just mentally insane to me.
I'd rather watch none of them.
Because okay, let me just narrow it down. The reasoning behind this: Batman and Robin is a silly movie that doesn't take itself seriously at all, and you go in knowing that this is
it's meant for toys.
The Dark Knight Rises pretends to be, or supposed to be, a masterpiece, serious movie, technical achievement, all that stuff. It's supposed, but it fails. There was so much. Every scene in The Dark Knight Rises that I can remember, every single scene had so many problems. So look, when I sat there watching it, all right, the opening scene, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm seeing this plane, and I was thinking, I'm just trying to like get into the movie and not even think about stuff, but I was wondering, okay, when the wings, you know, they were trying to make it look like it was a plane crash, but even then I was just like, no plane is gonna drop its wings so many miles before the play. I was like, all these things were happening in my mind. I was like, none of this makes any sense.
Yeah,
None of this. And I kept,
Oh, haha.
What?
so was Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's an awful
anyway,
movie.
what? And so is the Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises is the 13th best film of all time.
Let's end this. Let's end this.
But anyway, I told you, like I said, it was going to get controversial here when I
This has
mentioned
been
Batman
an
and Robin.
interesting topic, and I didn't get to do the second part of I don't know, but this has been fun.
Yes, I have gone through a lot because as a big Batman fan, and a lot of people that know me know that I'm a Batman fan. I had to deal.
Oh really?
Well,
I exist.
It's because I'm a Batman fan that I don't like the Dark Knight
Well,
Rises.
I'm a Batman fan, and I love The Dark Knight Rises.
But you love Christopher Nolan as well.
No, I love his movies. I'm sure you.
Okay.
Love
You have a
Inception.
poster saying Nolan we trust.
I did like Inception.
Yeah, he
I
likes
like it.
Inception.
Yeah.
You've seen every single Nolan film, yeah?
Except for the first black and white one that I did before Memento.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, Following or something, whatever it was.
Still,
So anyway,
same thing. Yeah.
so are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
Bye.
See ya.
Digi.